around the use of VR for physical well-being. And so if you have information on that, that would be very helpful.
I'll check on it if I can find the report, because the research I found from, I think it was from MIT, where I'd gone through and looked at it. But let's see if I can find any of that.
Okay.
But the last one I'll say here that we had the exercise. The other one is training. What I find, and then you can choose the ones that you're important, but training I think is also an important area that we can go through. So what we found is, I think about somebody becoming a caregiver. Most people are thrown into being a caregiver. You have no training. you don't know what to expect, and you go into it. I think what this can really help is how do you set people up to have a chance of doing it well. And right as they do, I think AR/VR can be very powerful to give people an understanding of what they can go through, give them some sort of training to go through, as well as, just about the empathy in terms of what, given the condition, what is it that the person you're taking care of is going to go through. I feel that full world there of training and setting people up to succeed as a caregiver is where this could really be powerful.
That is great. Thank you.
One component I would add with that, and we'll touch it, is I also feel that there's a full world of connectivity, but what it allows you to, connect with people who are going through exactly the type of conditions you're about to deal with. And this would be very powerful because it trains them, teaches them, gives them empathy, and it connects them to another caregiver. The world of people assume caregivers are paid, but the ones that are unpaid, that's a huge tens of millions of people. Those are the people that need to connect with other unpaid because those are the people that really understand the types of issues the caregiver is going to. So I think you can set people up as soon as you do go through this full thing, which is the training and all, and we connect you to your social circle of other caregivers who can go through, empathize, help. And I find it's important because there are two types. People want to connect with somebody else to ask questions, share experiences, but sometimes they want to connect with somebody else who understands what you're going through, but talk about other things. Mm-hmm. That is as important as talking to people who can help you out with. But if you're taking somebody with dementia, dealing with another caregiver who's also taking care of somebody with dementia, and then talking about anything else is so much nicer to them because they've been somebody who understands their world.
Mm-hmm. That's excellent point, because so the last bucket that we had that we did identify was social connectivity and bringing in training. And so, by the way, I'm personally glad you brought up training, because that was the first bucket area that I wanted to include, just because knowing that the first two experiences that family caregivers need is, I need information and I need to know how to do something, right? But my colleague who's really driving this really asked us to put that aside for now and to focus more on the four other buckets that we identified as a group. And so I won't be surprised if in the future we go back to the training component, even though in my mind it would be the first component we would want to create. But for now, we'll have to set it aside. But I greatly value what you said.
One way you may get into training, just from a different perspective, is I feel to be successful with anything from meditation, relaxation, or any of the others, you need a training component. So even if you're going to get somebody, a lot of them don't even realize the importance. Often talk to caregivers is, I don't have the time to relax. And unless you go through a short training to realize if you're going to be a caregiver and succeed, you need, exactly what you said, you have to take care of your own health. And this is an important part of the mental well-being. I feel what happens is they start ignoring it and they start skipping it. So I think regardless of which one of these you do, you have to set the context for them as to, otherwise they don't invest in it and they skip it. So I think that's where you have to put the training in somewhere in any of these if you're going to get them to work.
Okay, that's excellent. Great.